Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the semi-final of the women's Vancouver Sevens. This one, Australia taking on New Zealand. Now, the other semi-final is just currently taking place, and Fiji are winning it up against the Japanese 28 points to 7. So Fijiana making their way through to their first final in quite some time. And the reason it is their first final is because normally this semi-final is the final. But really, do we get to see this match outside of that final matchup? But because of the loss for the Australians up against Brazil, it became a reality. So in this matchup, it will be the Trans-Tasman rivalry and a big chance to go to the last match. Looking through at the starting lineups for the Australians in this contest, it is Henwood, Dennis, Faith Nathan, Tegan Levi, Charlotte Caslick, Nassar, and also Tia Hines for the New Zealanders. They have got Nuku, Georgia Miller, Stacey Waka, Risi Pori Lane, Sarah Hirani, Michaela Brake, and Jasmine Felix Hotham. So just on paper, you'd have to say New Zealand have that little bit of an advantage. Now, of course, there are a few big players missing for the Australians. When South Africa final with Argentina, that is going to be taking place, and I believe it is a 3:05 p.m. kickoff, 3:05 a.m. kickoff for you guys in South Africa. For us here in New Zealand, it's at 2:05. But what I have done already is I've scheduled that third place match between Fiji and Spain. And straight after this one is done, I will also schedule that final so that you guys know exactly when it is taking place. But the Fijiana side, moving through to the women's final that is going to be taking place just after the men's one has concluded. A 1 versus 2. New Zealand currently just got a few more points than the Australians, but only just. And whoever books their way to the final, I believe, will be the leader at the end of this one. There we go. Just the 7th time that these two sides have played off in a semi-final. So it is a rarity. Definitely with the way that it has been finishing throughout the regular series. Pretty much whoever are in the final, they are not going to be in that same group, normally ending up on different sides of the pool, which they often will top. But yeah, big chance. See what these sides can do under a bit more pressure of a semi rather than the main event. Let's go New Zealand, says No Mum. Good luck, Aussie, says JD. Can South Africa go to the final, says Mohadeen. They are in the final up against the Argentines. That is the one there. If you're talking about South Africa for the women's side of things, they cannot, no. It is Fiji in the final after beating Japan in their semi. But a big chance here for Michaela Brake to add more tries to her tally. They'll have to try and shut her down, but the big factor is no Maddie Levi for the Australians. They have still got Tegan, though, and also Charlotte Caslick. They will be two massive keys, but New Zealand kicking that one off and going to be going away to the right-hand side. Nicely handled by the Australians. Charlotte Caslick looking both ways, trying to find this next gap. Advantage is over for whatever it was that New Zealand infringed upon. Nice fend out wide. And moving up to the halfway line. I don't think Dennis meant to actually offload that. I think it slipped out of her hands. And now New Zealand are going to have the possession. Going back on the inside to Michaela Brake. Puts the fend in on Tegan Levi. But Faith Nathan and Levi eventually drag her down. Felix Hotham going back across to the right-hand side. It'll be now Georgia Miller goes with the offload to Stacey Waka, and she will run in the first try of the semi-final. When you go into sleep, I did get to sleep earlier on before the Six Nations. But yeah, I don't think I'll be sleeping until probably tonight, I would say. But try has been scored by New Zealand. I've just read the Blitzbox news. South Africa beats Fiji with only 6 men. Says Mornay. Of course, they did start the match with 7, though. But yeah, Sebastian Job getting himself red carded. So he will more than likely be missing from the final up against Argentina as he decided to throw the good old flying headbutt into the Fijian forehead. And then still had to chase him 95 metres for Fiji to score. But New Zealand getting the first try of this contest, making it 7-0 now. Now, New Zealand, they will be kicking this one off. And, oh, that's going to be slapped back by the Australians. Bit of a loose ball. Georgia Miller all over her. Trying to get that turnover, but unable to do so. New Zealand defence rushing up. Another big tackle. Hirani right on the ball. doesn't quite get the turnover. Now Australia, just looking to put some phases together. Nice big fend. Offload to Tegan Levi. Georgia Miller slips over. Beautiful offload. And this will be a try for the Australians. Charlotte Caslick, they will not catch her. And now, making the score at 7 points to 5. I'm not sure where the extra try came from for New Zealand. Why 12, says Mohadeen. Yeah, that's a great question. That is my question too. And come on, ladies, start our week with a good win for breakfast, says JD. And it's 4 p.m. here in the USA, says Robert there too. 3-time Olympian they have just mentioned for Charlotte Caslick, an outstanding talent. Now that kick is going to miss away to the side, so the score is actually 7 points to 5. For some reason, the automatic scoreboard wants to see New Zealand score again. We'll have to wait and see whether that will be the case, but nicely claimed by Michaela Brake. I'm back across to this left-hand side now for the Kiwis. Georgia Miller into the middle of the field finds Jasmine Felix Hotham inside to Hirini. Caslick having to make the tackle on her. Two very experienced ladies going head-to-head. Back across Nuku to Felix Hotham. Gets the offload to Michaela Brake. Foot race could be on. No, going to be dragged down very early. Looks like there's an injury here for Tegan Levi in back play. She does not look comfortable at the moment. She's lying down, you know, when you just have a nap, like, and you're lying on your stomach. That's how she's lying. I'm not sure what the injury is. I think it might be her leg, but she does not look good at the moment. Yeah, I think it's a lower limb injury here for Tegan Levi. What exactly happened with the headbutt collision, says Monet Lagrange. So pretty much Sebastian Job, he came in, no attempt to duck down and just pretty much smacked face on face with the Fijian. Then from there, Fiji offloaded it, ran 95 metres, scored the try. And then they went to the TMO and went, hang on, that was too high. Jobs off for the red. And then Fiji ended up with a yellow not too long after that too. So yeah, both sides struggling with discipline throughout that match. But the South Africans, they are going to be going now head-to-head with the Pumas in the final. So it should be a very entertaining one. Right, Tegan Levi back to her feet. Yeah, I think that was the ankle maybe. She was almost in tears before she hit the ground, and that was almost instantaneous. But it looks like she's going to try and continue. They can't take the risk. It is the semi-final, and of course she is a very important player for the Aussies, but got to think about not just this leg, but also what they've got coming up. I didn't go sleep yet. It's 11:43 p.m., says Mohadeen. Now, looks like it's going to be the scrum feed for New Zealand. Sitting around 45 metres out from the Australian line. The time has been put back on. 3 minutes remaining in this semi-final. The scoreboard is still wrong. I'm curious to know what happens if New Zealand do score next, whether or not they end up on 17. We're about to find out by the looks of it. Jasmine Felix Hotham inside ball to Michaela Brake. Going off to the right. Now wide, cut out pass, finds Georgia Miller. Has the flick pass on the outside to Stacey Waka. She dodges three, goes off to the left, passed out wide. Now New Zealand, all they've got to do is run this one into Michaela Brake. Okay, so they have added another try. Right, New Zealand are only on 12, ladies and gents. But a very nice try for Michaela Brake. A real team try too. Started the move, about 3 or 4 different passes one way, then back the other, and then eventually it gets back to Brake, almost like a boomerang effect. It wasn't the Aussies throwing it this time, it was New Zealand. They do score the try. Pumas only won 7-0 against Spain. Were the defence that good? It was a really strong performance from both sides in terms of their discipline and the defensive work. Like, it was honestly a really good one. So I wouldn't judge the performance from Argentina in that game in terms of what you think they're going to do in the final. I think it will be a whole different Pumas side. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great final. But now almost trying to burst her way through was... Okay, they actually said there that Tegan Levi, she's running around on the sideline. She looks like she's about to make her way back out onto the field. So a bit of a miraculous injury. Must have just been a bit of a sprain, or, you know, when you get that awkward jolt. I'm all good, thumbs up, she's just gone. So she's going to come back out there. I think the medic's gone, are you sure? Oh, she's still grimacing though. We'll have to wait and see what does happen there. Of course, they don't want to use up too many of their subs for one individual. Going off to this left-hand side here for the New Zealanders. Still 12 points to 5 up. Jasmine, Felix, Hotham. Oh, that's a risky pass. It's well taken by Hirini, but a good tackle made on the spot by Kaslik. Georgia Miller goes for the grubber, looking to retain this ball, waits for the bounce, but it sits up for Kaslik, who is back there, gets back to her feet, tackled by Waka. 30 seconds left in the half. If Australia want a chance, they have to score again here. Who's your pick to win the final? We will be doing a preview after this match, where you will be able to find out. But now going back across to the right, Georgia Miller slides, well, tries to slide. She kind of bounced in, and looks like she might have hurt her knee in the process. There was not a lot of slide in this 4G turf. She pretty much got grinded to a standing halt at almost 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. About to get out to work. Hope I can beat. But you can win against peak hour. Says JD. Oh, sorry, beat traffic. I was wondering what you meant by that. But New Zealand score. And yeah, an awkward one for her right knee by the looks of it. Almost kicked herself in the back of the head. That would have hurt. But luckily did not. Kick has gone over. So that is going to make the score at halftime now 19 points to 5. I don't think they're going to take back that extra try, but the same gist is still a factor here, which is New Zealand lead by a comfortable margin. And it's going to be up to the opposition here, Australia, to fire back. And the winner of this contest will face the Fijians in the final, who have had a perfect run, or at least in terms of dreams. But is that dream going to become a reality? We will soon find out. We are going to be covering that final on the channel as well. We'll be scheduling them all as we go, and then also, like I mentioned, releasing that preview of the final two. Second half, not a mile away. In terms of the benches, we will get to see, by the looks of it, Tegan Levi return back out onto the park, which is an interesting choice. And hopefully, she is going to be all right to be able to play it out. Waka Manawa, Wahine Toa, says Ivano. Tell you what, I absolutely butchered the middle part of that, didn't I? It seems that the scoreline has gremlins in the form of New Zealand, says Monet Lagrange. And this New Zealand women's team is amazing. Now, this next 7 minutes, it will determine a lot. And whoever wins this game, this is nothing to discount the Fijians. But whoever wins this will feel quietly confident moving into this next match. They'll also be confident they'll have a few bruises, because boy, do the Fijiana women's side hit hard. We see it every single time. She's a beauty. She's a grace. She'll stiff arm you in the face, is a sign that I just saw there. I missed one of the middle lines because it disappeared pretty quick, but now a little kick off from, oh, what a kick that is, from the Australians. They have managed to retain their own kickoff with just a little bouncy, almost half chip grubber type of arrangement there. Now Charlotte Kaslik still trying to keep her side in this match, and that's going to be knocked on by Isabella Nassar. Now scrum feed here for New Zealand. Not quite able to bring it down there. Yeah, nicely done by the Australians. So for the first initial retention, the women's cricket team is good too. Says Robert V. Yeah, of course, New Zealand, they are going to be playing in the Champions Trophy taking place tonight up against Bangladesh. I wonder why the scoreline can't correct itself. Says Mono Lagrange. Obviously, someone's pressed the button too fast, and now it's just stuck that way. But we'll wait to see whether or not it fixes itself by the end of it. Now Felix Otham goes back across to the right-hand side here. Stacey Huaka going to set a hit in there. That's a risky pass, and that looked a little bit forward. It's going to be knocked on, and a penalty should be going against New Zealand, but it will just be the scrum feed anyway. And Tani Fars, Morella Range, says Ivano. And we have got there, you can never win against peak hour traffic. That Monday for you with the McCafe coffee, says JD. Now, going to be another scrum feed. Anyone wondering about all of the tape on the knees, the arms, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, but the backside of certain players or the upper thigh is because of the 4G turf. And because of that, means that when you try and slide in, you can get some pretty brutal burns. So now, they are all taped up, but now getting driven sideways. Here, Australia, they are still in this contest, though, only down by 14, even though the scoreboard does say there is the 19 points difference. Isabel Nassar not going through. A little bit of a counter ruck from Michaela Break. Bounce pass off to Keslick. They're stuck on the halfway line at the moment here for the Aussies. Looking for the offload. It will be a knock on from Michaela Break. Goes back to Australia. Isabella Nassar finds Faith Nathan almost through. Dragged down by Nuku. Now across to the right-hand side again. We're going to shift now from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. 29, I assume that's $29 an hour rather than 29 hashtag. And now it's going to be back across to the right-hand side. Big fend. Australia just slowly creeping forward, but now they pass it right back and they're on the halfway line again. Australia lost to Brazil. How did that happen and what was the score? It was just Brazil did well. Like, at the end of the day, it just shows the unpredictability of the Sevens. Penalty does go the way of the New Zealanders, but it also shows that all it takes for these sides to find each other in the semis is just one big upset somewhere along the lines. Like, it's only about the 8th time that these two sides have met in a semi-final, and when you consider how many finals these two teams have been in, it just shows, that dominance that they've had. But now there's going to be a new side getting that opportunity, and that is going to be the Fijiana. Looking at the time that one is going to be taking place, it is starting at, it will be 2:41 p.m. for the women's final. So anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be live for that one. Should be a very exciting fixture. But now, still a couple minutes remaining here. New Zealand trying to book their spot in that final. Back across, drop ball. Mahina Paul. Not taking that one cleanly, which now, of course, gives them another chance. Only worked 2 days this week because it's 18 degrees and freedom measurements, says Robert. So, yeah, very cold in that case. Listen to Kiwi lads on me ways to work. Egan Baker McMuffin, says JD. Tegan Levi, she has made her way back out there. So, feeling like her injury to her ankle isn't substantial enough to keep her off the field. It's the type of commitment that you love to see. But will it be costly? Still 19 points to 5. Rugby is becoming a far more global game. Expect more upsets as the lovely game gets growing support. Exactly right. Like, the perfect example is Spain in the men's side of things. Even in the women's side of things, I think they got themselves a win not too long ago. Nice run from Faith Nathan down the wing. Scores the try. And now Australia work their way just a little bit further back into this game. But yeah, like Spain and the men's side, like when you say Spain beat New Zealand, like we had it earlier on, people were like, oh, well, New Zealand must have played badly. But no, Spain are just, they're playing for third in this competition. They'll go up against Fiji, a side that they went to golden point time with in the regular league. Uruguay, they can cause upsets. Good way to start your weeks with the Kiwi Lads commentary, says JD. Yeah, we have got a little bit more to go today. Of course, we are going to have another 3 matches on the channel, which feels like it's a really small amount compared to the amount that we have done over the weekend. We've done 5, in fact, we've done 7 rugby union matches. That one hasn't gone the 10 metres for the Aussies. It did eventually bounce the 10 metres. Spain did well, says Anoy. Let's see which is for hard-working people. Awesome, says Robert. But yeah, like it just shows on the 7th circuit that anything can happen at any given time. And that's what makes it so great. Right, quick tap here for Sirahirani. We'll go off to Felix Hotham. The New Zealand ladies are also known as the All Blacks. They are the Black Ferns Sevens. So just like the men's side, they kind of have their All Black Sevens, and the Black Ferns is what this side's more closely referred to. Now New Zealand in position again with only 90 seconds left on the clock. Looking to put the final nail in the coffin. Georgia Miller goes through, offload on the outside. Waka gets another 3 for this game, is it? Or is it just 2? No, 2 for this match. Georgia Miller does get the assist. Spell correct, sandwich. Says Robert V. Yeah, dragged down by Isabella Nassar. That was the first initial break for New Zealand. They just kept on attacking. Booking their spot to the final up against none other than Fiji. And that is another game that we are going to be doing on the channel, ladies and gents. So if you are new, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. But the next game will be starting, I believe, at 1 p.m. And that is going to be the one between Spain and Fiji. Then from there, we will be doing the men's final at 2. And then at 2:40, the women's final between Fiji and New Zealand. But still a little bit more time left, 30 seconds here. Charlotte Caslick trying to find her way through. And interception thrown. Georgia Miller takes it. And now another chance for the Black Ferns Sevens to close out this game with one last try towards the corner. 5 meters, outreach is over. And will score another one. 29 points to 10. Could be the full-time score. Tanetti scores it. But is it going to be the extra 2? Out of the way of the kick, I think they've just said for the referee. Looks like, no, Levi's not that good. She's actually hurt her ankle worse now. So that was not a smart move, making her way back out. There's respect there for doing it. But at the same time, you know, it's probably, I hope it hasn't got too much worse as a game. I'm going to do the shopping. See you in the final. Says Novmum. Reese says, hi, I'm seeing him today. Says Ollie there too. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. The next live stream, like I mentioned, is going to be at 1 p.m. So 2 hours time. Be sure to check in for the men's bronze medal final. But thank you all very much for tuning in. And I will see you all for the next one.